Oh,
Did we even whack it last time?
we had one before. If we didn't, I can figure it out. But yeah, are we rolling?
Yeah. We're just trying to get it within a couple of frames. That's good. Whatever. Continual self-improvement.
Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about today
Deep breath.
on The Regular Dad. Continual self-improvement. Now, Jimmy, as you know, I've been in counseling and various aspects, just, so emotional. I've met with someone that focuses predominantly on the spiritual side of things. This has all been in an effort to try to untwist and unravel some of the very weird things that I'd put together in my life. Well, I didn't know that there was anything wrong because it was normal. But with enough outside perspective and influence and people, and me finally disagreeing with people or not, or ceasing to disagree with people, and believe that what they were telling me was for my, own best interest. I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's something here. And the moment that I started exploring, what maybe it's a little stuff here we could redo, and then it was a little stuff over here, and then it was a little stuff over here, and that was just kind of poking at the dam of emotions, not the damn emotions. Well, done said it now. Sorry, Mom.
Grammatically, it would probably be damned emotions. Because the emotions.
Actually, that's part of the self-improvement that I'm.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. Okay, but yes, damned emotions, not like Village of the Damned. The damned up emotions. No,
Well,
did you mean?
I mean, like damned to an eternity in hell emotions because we don't like them. That's what.
Damn it. Mom, just go ahead and turn it off. We're talking about self-improvement. Apparently, I hadn't started. Okay. So it's this. After I unraveled a couple of things, I'm all proud, and I'm working out stuff with Dina, and she's like, yeah, and then this, and it opens up this, and it leads to, and I'm like, no. We fix the thing, and we fix the thing. Zick.
It's good. We're good.
Yeah. There's no more fixing.
Yeah,
We've done it.
We go on from here.
Yeah.
Brand new.
It's like, well, no, you do all this so that you can start on a continual self-improvement. What? I'm like a continual what? Listen, man, if you're not happy with me, let's just come out and say it. And she's like,
You're taking it all personal. I'm sorry.
No, she's wanting to afford me the opportunity to experience the benefits of continual self-improvement.
Right.
And I'm all defensive. Listen. Now, the gap created in between us, where she was continuing a self-improvement process and I was not. I'm like, yep, I'm good.
Yeah.
It was good back in 87 and it's good now. I don't know what the significance of 87 was, but it just sounded good. I was 7. So, but reading is actually one of those things that I've incorporated in the last couple of years because I did not like to read.
Right.
And, but just being more intentional about what goes in the ear holes, and listening to that.
I'm looking up a Bible verse.
Listen, man, I didn't know we were going to bring scripture into this. I was not prepared. But there is a book that can kind of kickstart you on this path, and it's just a phenomenal, very digestible book, and that's by James Clear, and it's Atomic Habits.
I've never read it. I've heard about it.
Stupid. I'm going to read you a quote at some point. We will, and I may jump right into it.
I love the Google AI trying to talk about theology. It's pretty hilarious. But anyways.
Yeah. It's kind of like a lot of people talking about theology. Maybe that's where they got it was Google. I don't know. Because I'm like, no, that's not a thing.
No.
But anyway. All right. Never mind. So one of the first things that I had to do is realize that, one, we never reach a place of having arrived. All right.
Right.
Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't like that because I wanted to achieve and then enjoy. In actuality, when we're in relationship with the Lord, it's a continually developing thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's continually drawing closer, closer. Improvement. There's not anything wrong with us. That's what it's supposed to be, is that we're continually working towards just a better version of us.
Right.
Better, and when and you see that a lot, not in every older person because some are bitter, but when you see people that have been around 60, 70, 80 years, they've seen some stuff.
Yeah.
For my kids and the perspectives they have and the stuff that they're encountering at their ages, I've seen some stuff. I can give them some,
right.
Some help there. But you listen to people that just living life has caused them to improve, just to survive.
Right.
That's what the greatest generation, the generation that fought in World War II. And of course they were cultivated, inside of the Great Depression and the hard times and, fighting for
unintentionally
purpose.
Cultivated. By necessity.
Yeah. It was true, true survival. Now, there's a lot of different ways we could go with that, and the good times leading to soft men, and okay, we're not going down that, but just focusing on becoming a better you. And James Clear has this in his book, and he did all the math and he kind of explained it, and there's a graph that's associated with it and whatnot. But he said, if you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, well, that doesn't sound like a lot. Just 1%, 1%. All right. At the end of the year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done.
Yeah.
Okay. What? And he said, now a lot of people run off and they'll try to change everything. They'll change 15, 20%, of what I'm going to get up at this time, go to sleep at this time. I'm going to start exercising this. I'm going to start eating that. And it's too much and it's overwhelming. And you flake out on it.
Yeah.
All right. And God love him. My son, yesterday we had a little case of you burned some daylight that you could have been working.
Yeah.
And you want to earn the money, but you have to be awake to do the work. And then after he got up, he did some stuff, inside. Well, then he didn't want to go outside because it was hot. And I'm like, but the stuff you've got there, two things could have been done either side of the day of when it is dark outside.
Right.
You can stay up and work on it, or you could get up, And so he's like, okay, well, tomorrow I'm getting up at 4:00 in the morning. Like, no, you're not. And he didn't. He did get up at 5:30.
I mean,
but
if you actually do get up at 4:00, then that probably would be,
So now he's read this book.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. And I'm like, hey man, listen, what is practical? Okay. What are you really going to do? Because if you say you're going to get up at 4.
Sorry, I did not put the AC on permanent hold. That's my bad. It went up to 76.
God. Okay. I thought it was just me.
No, it was like, why is that not turning on?
I'm going to go over there and put a candle under the thermostat.
I should give you access to that thermostat on your app.
Hey.
We use the same apps at the church. So.
Right. Anyway. I've got all those.
Yeah.
Hey, it's hot. Can you turn it down? Yeah. I did get a phone call one time, and the heat wasn't on, and the building was ice cold. It was January. Well, I was in the middle of the Caribbean on a cruise ship. And they didn't know. They just knew I wasn't there. So they're like, hey, can you do this? Or I got a text or whatever it was. So I was on a cruise ship. Then I log in real quick and change the temperatures. Ah, yes, thank you. Okay, away we go. All right. So anyway.
Sorry to derail you.
Absolutely. I don't know who that is, and we'll talk to them later. Anyway, the whole premise of that book is it's very gentle, and it's but it just talks about the power of slowly changing your habits, and they can get rooted in just so much easier. And if you think about it, like I didn't get fat overnight. This is a long process, right? It's not just okay, and consequently, it doesn't undo itself
Right.
overnight either. So there's habits that you put in place that lead to a continual improvement, and that can be, okay, you're going to go to school, you're going to learn an instrument, you're going to read, you're going to whatever it is,
Right.
something that you feel that's deficient in your life. If you have a spiritual relationship, is the Lord highlighted something to you? But whatever, parenting, friendship wise, what,
Yeah.
no area is off the table. But I think so many times we get caught up with, all right, well, once I've achieved this or once I've made that, then I've arrived.
Right.
I did that with work stuff for a long time. Once I can afford this or once I can afford that or live this certain type of way, that's never the thing.
Right.
It just never is.
Yeah.
Because Dina and I were very happy when we were young married. Good gosh, I mean, and our budget is drastically different than it was then. So
Right.
bigger budget doesn't make you happier. Now,
Right.
well, yeah, but it makes it's easier. Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's a when it comes to income, there's that like breakover point
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah.
like once you're over this amount, happiness, the
Yeah.
increase in happiness drops off. I can't remember what show or book I
So,
read.
I'm
where
not-
it's like there's a breakover point. It's like boom. Now it's just like a very slow increase in happiness past this income point.
I'm not discrediting.
Yeah.
That, but that can't be your motivation or your purpose, because
Correct.
then when
Yeah,
you're
that's
not
good.
happy,
Yeah.
or you still have the frustrations, even though, well, we've tacked on another 50 grand to our income. Okay. So what's wrong? Well, maybe I need, another 50.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then rather than working on the things that you need to work on to make you happy, you work on pursuing an additional amount of revenue
Yeah.
through whatever means. and then you're frustrated when you get to that level, if you get to that level,
Yeah.
or you attribute the unhappiness to the fact that you still aren't at that level. And it's just it's a vicious cycle. And that could be that way with money. It can be that way with weight. It can be that way, well, the car you drive, but that leads a lot to money. The social circles that you're in, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I like that. I think the thing that is interesting to me, I'm going somewhere with this. There are parallels in nature.
here we go.
The Bible says that like the glory of God is revealed in the world that He's created, right? That's me paraphrasing multiple scriptures, but there are truths in nature that we can see, and one of those truths is radioactivity, right?
I nod and say, as though I'm very familiar with how radioactivity works.
Right. So the radioactive isotopes, they shoot off electrons, I think it is, gamma radiation, and the half-life, it never quite gets there, right?
Half and half.
It's half and half and half and half, and ever since I heard that concept, I remember I think I was in elementary school.
Yep.
And I was like, so you never, and I think the teacher actually did like take one of us and put us up in front of the class and have us like walk toward a wall half the distance.
Yep.
To try to illustrate, right?
Yep.
And that like illustration is more what I'm talking about. That's like there is no ever, you don't arrive.
Right.
And that I think, especially in the West, especially in America, we even say that he's arrived.
Yeah.
Like you don't.
No,
And,
not at
and
all.
the irony is that when you think you have, you haven't, and that's where a lot of the frustration
You
comes
cease
from.
growing, and your foundation gets eroded.
Right, and you're like, "What's going on? I've arrived." No, you haven't. You've come into a waypoint, and now it's
Yep.
time to get back on the road. And do you remember the Chronicles of Narnia?
Yes.
The book, The Last Battle, the last one, the last book.
This is going to be kind of awkward because, yes, I'm familiar
So-
with the series. I have not read the books.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I've read them like 5 times, but you should put that on your list.
Yeah. I was reading the Cabela's Spring catalog.
So in the last battle, at the very end, when they get into the allegorical sort of heaven space,
yeah.
right? When the main characters are, spoiler alert, they move into the new Narnia.
Yes. Now I have heard of that.
One of the statements that is made by all of the animals and the people that are walking into this new space is the beauty of it. They're exclaiming, "Further up, further in," right? And to me,
Yeah.
we don't know what heaven's going to be like.
Nope.
We do know it's going to be a city. Spoiler alert. Revelation. It's a city. Comes out. We live in a city.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's a whole nother theological discussion.
Would you say this is going to be pre-trib or
whatever?
Sorry.
So,
Don't email us.
like the idea that there is that somehow we end up, and we believe in an afterlife, we believe in heaven, the Protestant evangelical view of it. If somehow there's going to be this space where we end up and we've arrived,
Yeah.
like all of a sudden everything is done, Revelation ends, the story is over, yay, we win, we've arrived. How boring is that? An eternity
Yeah.
of nothing. We're just arrived.
Straight chilling.
We're just straight chilling.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it is. I think C.S. Lewis' vision of further up and further in is how it is. I don't
Right.
think this process ends after we die. I don't think this process ends after we, after the end of all time and all that. I think this process is one of the core purposes of our lives. Is that because if I create something and it's self-perpetuating.
Right.
Like I create a machine or something and it works and it does its purpose, that brings me joy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's God's joy to see us constantly improve.
Yeah.
I think it's his joy, and I think that's why he's created a universe that is like, oh, you're never going to arrive.
Yeah.
Like you're going to go, you're going
that's
to go
the point.
into the grave.
It's not to drive us mad. It's
Right.
to drive us to him.
You're going to go into the grave in motion.
Ooh.
Like it should not be, I'm just sitting in a corner somewhere into the grave. It should be in motion. There was it Hunter Thompson? The quote about the like sliding sideways and like completely worn out.
Yes. Dina's texting me.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Be it known
I want to look up this quote. I
that
think it's
you looked that
Hunter
up.
S. Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Hunter S. Thompson, out of The Proud Highway Saga of a Desperate Southern Gentleman. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in, broadside, in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Wow, what a ride!" Like that is like...
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know?
I like that picture, but it kind of gives me vibes of that Kenny Chesney song, "Living and Fast Forward."
Yeah.
You know,
Which I've never heard, but
I'm not surprised by that at all. But you know, that's my vibe.
yeah, no, I get it.
But
continuous improvement, right? We're
Yeah.
always moving in a direction.
yeah,
Like there's
It's-
so much in the world that's like if something stops moving, it dies.
yeah, it's the
You know?
it's goes to the parable of the giftings, the stewardship of the giftings. If you bury it or don't utilize it, it will get taken away.
Yeah.
And
Boy,
so
that's yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so if you, the body, the mind, the spirit, if you sow those things, if you use those things and bring those things to advancement and improvement, there's return.
Yeah.
And then you do it again. And so that when you do swan dive into the afterlife, you're coming in with, you know, no fuel, on fumes, brakes
adventure-
smoking red hot,
Yeah, and it's like
bald tires,
it's almost like that transition
windshield covered in bugs.
is the point at which all that stuff gets renewed and it's like, all right, adventure continues.
Hammer down. Let's do it again.
You know? Yeah.
In a vehicle that breaks down less.
Right.
Or not at all. Don't email Mom.
We're not theologians.
Don't. Man, I taught you about that. I know. That's not in
Continuous
the context.
self-improvement.
Yes.
We're going to get better.
I want to come in on fire, Okay. So that's really just kind of the concept that I wanted to leave people with and let them sit with, and is just, it's okay to, I just never feel like I get there. That's the point.
Normal. That's normal.
That's normal.
And you're right. It is
That's
part of mental health to accept that that's normal.
But society conveys this image, especially with all the freaking influencers, and my eyes have become open to that just from sharing this stuff, out there. I'm not an influencer. Maybe if I say something that you influence, but that's not whatever. But there is this huge dividing line of where people will say, "Oh, look, I've arrived, and you can be like me," and and it's like that's an impossibility to, have the kind of wealth or people look the type of beauty or the clothes or just there. It's just and it's hollow stuff too.
Yeah.
And that's what just saturates our culture. But hear me on this. You are not lacking anything because you are not the type of person that you see on TikTok or Instagram.
That's right.
That you are not deficient or anything like that in any way. Oh, I need to have those abs. If I just had, look at those people. They're smiling when they're riding their Peloton. Yeah, because they're getting paid. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So listen.
Or maybe
I'd smile too if I could get paid.
Maybe that particular person enjoys that particular work, but that's not maybe the work that you're designed to enjoy.
So, yes. But the last thing that you need to do is get frustrated and just go, I give up, or just whatever, and let life blow you around like some type of tumbleweed. That's not okay. That was the place that I found myself in. There's so many levels and layers to that, but I was just kind of like, all right, we're just kind of doing the next thing and whatever, and not really drawing or exhibiting or utilizing any of the power of place. Just thank you, Daniel Grothe. But just existing. Yeah. Well, that's very unfulfilling. All right. The last 2 years of my life have been the hardest 2 years of my life. They've also been the most rewarding.
Amen.
Because I realized how far I am from arrived.
Yeah, I get that. Very similar.
But there's become a sense of purpose, and there's also, just a few months in, I started seeing a marked sense of growth and going, okay.
Which is inspiring.
Yeah. So, and there's most people I know are further along down the road than me, but I'm on the road.
Yeah.
So I'm here and I'm doing it. So anyway. So that's it. Check out the book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Please don't give up on yourself. Please don't think you've arrived. And if you do think that you have arrived and have it all figured out, please call me so I can tell you how wrong you are. All right? But we love you anyway.
We do.
All right. We'll see you here on the next episode of The Regular Dad.